And so, since the end game of our digital transformation is just to create and add value to our lives, I believe it's important that we spend a little more time exploring the business of the VRA, who in the last 60 years have been powering this sector of ours by adding value to our lives. Speaking to us on behalf of the CEO is his deputy in charge of finance. Would you please make welcome as he speaks to us on powering Ghana's digital agenda with clean and sustainable energy, Dr. Ebenezer Tego.
Good morning to you all. Captains of industries, CEOs, and head of institutions, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I deem it a great privilege to be able to share with you our thoughts on the topic powering Ghana's digital agenda with clean and sustainable energy. Looking around, there are some slides that have to be shared. Looking around, we can see digital technologies everywhere, affecting the way we live, work, travel, play, and socialize. On a daily basis, objects such as watches, home appliances, and cars are being connected to communication networks to provide a range of services and appliances such as personal health care, entertainment, banking, surveillance, home automation, and intelligent transport, all in real time on demand. Digital technologies have transformed the way we do business. Technologies such as e-commerce, digital communication, industrial robots, and 3D printing are becoming standard practice in certain business applications. These technologies help increase accuracy, improve efficiency, and reduce costs. As billions of new devices become connected daily, they will draw electricity at the plug and thus drive growth in energy demand for especially data centers and network services. Take, for example, the internet. Global internet traffic surged by almost 40% between February and mid-April 2020. I think the graph shows from 2010, you can see the world population juxtaposed against the internet penetration. But look at the story in 2020. This growth comes on top of rising demand for digital services over the past decade. From 2010 to 2020, internet usage is said to have increased by a whopping 1,266%. The number of internet users at the end of 2020 is reported to be about 4.9 billion, equivalent to 63% of the world's population. Out of this, mobile traffic accounted for about 50.3%. Demand for data and digital services is expected to continue its exponential growth over the coming years, with global internet traffic expected to reach 4.2 zettabytes per year by 2022, double what it was in 2029. These trends are driving exponential growth in demand for data centers, network services, and energy use, mostly electricity, with multiplier effects. We can therefore say that digitization is changing the status quo, not only in connectivity, but in all sectors, including transportation, healthcare, manufacturing, and many others. Yesterday, we heard of digitization in our port services, our healthcare and public services, etc. For now, let me single out one key sector where digitization is gradually but ultimately redefining the goalpost, which is transportation. Globally, transportation accounts for 28% of final energy demand, with most of the demand coming from road freight vehicles, that is about 36%, and passenger light-duty vehicles, also 28%. Technological breakthroughs in the electrification of buses and trucks is stealthily furthering the takeover of the conventional market by electric vehicles. Even shipping and aviation are making electrification progress, as several electric ships are now in operation in Europe and China, and the first all-electric commercial passenger aircraft flight took place in December 2019 when a retrofitted seaplane took a 15-minute flight from Vancouver in British Columbia. The resultant effect for us in the electricity business is that digitization of the transport sector will end up increasing electricity demand as the various transport systems switch from conventional fuels to electric models. Ladies and gentlemen, digital transformation is also breaking down boundaries between sectors, increasing flexibility and enabling integration across entire systems. In the electricity sector, digitization is blurring the distinction between generation and consumption of electricity. Rooftop solar systems especially have generation, transmission, and distribution systems all integrated on the consumer's premise. While some of these rooftop solar systems are standalone, others are currently injecting electricity at the distribution network levels as embedded generation. Digitization has thus made it possible to provide the flexibility needed to integrate more embedded generation from variable renewable energy sources into our electricity network. Data and analytics in the electricity value chain are known to help reduce power system costs in at least 4 ways: by reducing operations and maintenance costs, improving power plant and network efficiency, reducing unplanned outages and downtime, and extending the operational lifetime of assets. Some research, and indeed extant literature, has demonstrated that digitization can have major benefits in terms of energy efficiency for both households and organizations. It is, however, expected that growth in electricity demand resulting from increased digitization will far outweigh any energy efficiency gains, particularly in developing economies like ours, where digitalization is expected to expand all aspects of the economy. In the year 2020, internet penetration in Africa was reported to be about 43%, while that of Ghana was 46.5%. This is according to internetworldstats.com. This buttresses the fact that there is more for growth in digital communication and potentially more demand for electricity to power user devices, data centers, and other communication equipment. Another issue worthy of note is the fact that individual behavioral changes occur as digitalization grows. Social media platforms like WhatsApp have made communication easier and more efficient than traditional telephony. We have seen the users of these platforms now spend more time on their phones and use more energy than they would have done in the past. This has resulted in telecommunication companies increasing the capacity of cell sites and thus consuming more electricity. Likewise, streaming platforms are encouraging people to watch more video content than they typically would. It is reported that about 45% of the world's population watch at least 1 hour of online videos each day. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana has made great strides in the arena of digitalization, as we heard yesterday from His Excellency, the Vice President of Ghana. We are aware that our Ministry of Communications and Digitalization is working on a number of policies aimed at achieving cost-effective information and communications infrastructure and services. The ministry is also known to be promoting a knowledge-based society and a smart economy through the increased use of information and communication technology. The National Digital Agenda has the potential to bring significant economic development as indicated in the various policies related to digitalization, as witnessed in the area of the cell phone connectivity and mobile money. Digitization offers a huge potential for the nation to increase access to essential services such as health, education, mobility, trade, and many others in a more transparent and efficient manner. All initiatives stemming from our various ICT policies will require technologically advanced equipment and presumably more electricity supply. There is therefore the need for increased and efficient power infrastructure to supply this envisaged growth in electricity demand. This view is supported by the Ghana Integrated ICT for Accelerated Development policy, which has identified the provision of adequate power as one of the enablers of digitization in Ghana and incorporates the expansion of physical infrastructure, including power equipment, as one of the pillars required to successfully implement the policy. Noting that climate action has become a trending issue in the midst of extreme weather conditions, and also the fact that it is a key component of the Sustainable Development Goals SDG 13, it is imperative that we power that additional demand resulting from Ghana's digital transformation from clean and sustainable energy. This will help the nation decrease its carbon footprint and also reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Ladies and gentlemen, access to clean and sustainable energy has been a keystone of the world since the beginning of engineering modernization. During the Industrial Revolution, fossil fuels prevailed as the main source of energy. In the digital age, solar photovoltaics, PV, and wind power are now the mainstream options in the power sector. Industrial companies in Ghana, such as Cargill, Guinness, and other manufacturers, have in recent times augmented their power supply with on-site solar PV systems, gradually incorporating clean energy in their electricity supply, as has been done by global giants such as Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. Despite the challenges associated with the variability of renewable energy sources, there has been a significant increase in the use of clean and renewable energy between the years 2010 and 2020, with 30% of the world's electricity supply currently reported to be from renewables. And so, as you can see, you have the various sources of power, and you can see nuclear almost sliding. You see gas plateauing, you see coal coming down, and you see renewables going up. And that is the trend for the future. Cost reductions and sustained policy support are further expected to drive strong renewables growth beyond 2022. Solar PV and onshore wind are already the cheapest ways of adding new electricity generating plants in most countries today. solar projects now offer some of the lowest cost electricity in history. Overall, renewables are set to account for 95% of the net increase in global power capacity through 2025 and are projected to overtake coal to become the largest source of electricity generation worldwide in 2025. Hydropower, which is by far the largest source of renewable electricity worldwide, will continue to supply almost half of global renewables electricity, followed by wind and solar PV. And this is shown in a chart that cumulatively the renewables, also hydro, wind, solar, bioenergy, and the rest, cumulatively are taking over from coal and natural gas. Furthermore, climate change has generated worldwide discussions on alternative sources of energy. The only way to alleviate the threat of climate change is to decarbonize the global economy by reducing the use of fossil fuels and introducing more low-carbon energy sources such as wind, solar, hydropower, and nuclear. Nations that signed the Paris Agreement in 2015 agreed to decarbonize their energy and power sectors. This includes the decarbonization of transport systems by phasing out internal combustion engines and replacing with a system that is dominated by electric vehicles that draw their energy from clean energy sources. Ghana has ratified the UNFCCC Paris Agreement and seeks to make its contributions to the agreement through the implementation of energy efficiency programs and has therefore enacted the Renewable Energy Act to promote the use of renewable energy sources in Ghana. The road to achieving the objective of the Paris Agreement would only be possible through a combination of the use of clean energy to power digitization in the transport, industry, building sectors, and the other businesses. The International Energy Association's Energy Technology Perspective 2020 report states that greater use of electricity generated from renewables for powering electric vehicles, recycling metals, cooling and heating buildings, and many other tasks can make the single largest contribution to reaching net zero emissions. Our nation can therefore concurrently address issues on climate change, economic growth, development, and digitization by using clean and sustainable energy to electrify Ghana's digitization agenda. As a nation, we are blessed with significant levels of clean and renewable energy resources. The solar map of Ghana shows that there is adequate solar irradiance in all parts of Ghana for installing utility-scale and distributed commercial solar PV systems. This is important because distributed solar PV systems can be deployed at institutions such as schools and hospitals where the digitization policies are being implemented on smaller and cost-effective scales. So it is very clear that Ghana lies in a zone which benefits from very efficient irradiance. The wind resource map of Ghana shows that the wind, however, is site-specific, and therefore more centralized large wind farms will be required to offset the power and energy requirements of the digitization drive. In areas with appreciable wind speeds, such as coastal Ghana and high altitude locations, and so you can see that the site which is very conducive for wind, for electrical generation, is the southwest, and also where you have the Equapim Togo ranges. Small wind turbines could also be deployed to support localized digitization programs. Distinguished guests, the nation's energy sector has over the years developed plans and policies to incorporate clean and sustainable energy in meeting our power and energy demands. The recently amended Renewable Energy Act mandates fossil fuel power generators and industrial manufacturers to install renewable energy plants to augment their dependence on fossil fuel generated power. The Act also enforces the Renewable Energy Purchase Obligation, which has the aim to promote penetration of renewable energy in the Ghana power and energy sectors. The Ministry of Energy further has a target of achieving renewable energy penetration of at least 10% by the year 2030. The Ministry of Energy is also implementing the Ghana Renewable Energy Policy through the Scaling Up Renewable Program and the Ghana Goes Solar Initiative, which intends to augment power to governmental institutions with rooftop solar PV systems. Distinguished guests, let me highlight that using clean and sustainable energy in powering Ghana's digitization agenda will bring on board environmental, social, and economic benefits to our country. As already mentioned, clean and sustainable energy would result in the avoidance of greenhouse emissions and contribute to global efforts to mitigate global warming and climate change. Clean and sustainable energy will help to reduce greenhouse gases emissions, which contribute to global warming and impact weather patterns, leading to inclement and extreme weather conditions. Extreme weather patterns can damage infrastructure and cause disruptions in cropping patterns, which can cause famine and hunger. It is therefore more prudent to locally tackle climate change by complementing our power systems with clean and sustainable energy resources, which will not increase greenhouse gas emissions. The characteristics of some renewable energy sources and the advent of distributed generation networks can help in the reduction of losses when the generation sources are sited close to the point of use. This will also reduce the risk associated with widespread power losses stemming from great disturbances or natural disasters. Clean and sustainable energy also assists governments to meet the Sustainable Development Goals, which has the objective of improving the lives of all people on Earth by developing an energy and power source that will support both the present generation and the generations yet unborn. Other additional benefits in the use of clean and sustainable energy includes sustainable power generation from naturally replenishing sources, contributing to Ghana's nationally determined objective in accordance with the UNFCCC Paris Agreement, competitive electricity tariffs with higher certainty and no fuel cost, trading of carbon credits, which will be beneficial to the country. And it also brings about economic and social inclusion. The solar and wind resources maps of Ghana indicate that the best solar and wind resources are in the rural areas. The installation of utility-scale solar PV and wind farms in those areas will increase economic activities as well as bring social inclusion during construction and operation of the plants. Alternative use of non-arable land. Utility-scale land-based solar PV requires large areas of land. Energy Commission's Renewable Energy Master Plan encourages the use of non-arable land for utility-scale PV solar plants. It will also lead to higher resilience to natural disasters. Utility-scale solar PV and wind farms can be operated remotely. Similarly, rooftop solar PV and small wind turbines do not require a lot of operations and maintenance. During pandemics and natural disasters, rooftop systems are likely to be operated without human intervention. Increasing variable renewable energy sources such as solar and wind energy into the grid network will require storage of dispatchable reserve plants for grid stability due to the variable nature of the solar PV and wind energy. The increased contribution of clean and sustainable energy sources in the nation must therefore be complemented with dispatchable power plants like hydro and nuclear plants to smoothen the variability associated with renewable power sources. This is buttressed in Ghana's Renewable Energy Master Plan, which indicates that Ghana Grid Company must invest in modern weather forecasting equipment and stations synchronized with weather stations at various utility-scale renewable electricity installations for proper and timely planning of dispatch. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I draw the curtains down on my presentation, let me throw some light on VRA's contribution to meeting the energy demand for digitization with clean and sustainable energy. The Volta River Authority, as a state-owned enterprise that implements Government of Ghana's energy policies, has taken a leadership role in powering the Ghana digital agenda with clean and sustainable energy. VRA has delivered clean and sustainable power in Ghana since the 1960s. And so VRA is 60 years old, and you can see by the dress I'm wearing. VRA has powered the economy of Ghana since the 60s with Akosombo Hydro and pond generating power stations. The Akosombo Hydro generation plant has supported the national grid and has become the most sustainable power source in Ghana with the lowest tariff also. VRA developed the nation's first utility-scale PV solar of 2.5 megawatts in Navrongo in 2013 as part of its renewable energy development program. The authority is also on course to complete a 19.6 megawatt solar facility at the Upper West region of Ghana, which will be further expanded to 35 megawatts. Other renewable plants also under various degrees of development include the 60 megawatt Pualugu Hydro power project, which comes with a 50 megawatt solar PV complementation, the 17 megawatt wind power project in Angloga in the Volta region, 40 megawatt Bongo solar project, amongst others. VRA is also developing a renewable energy system on all its institutional buildings to reduce self-consumption and increase its green credentials, and has commissioned studies towards the Akosombo Smart City project, which is expected to be a precursor that will assist Ghana in piloting the digital transformation and clean energy initiative in a comprehensive manner. The Akosombo Smart City project will be an innovative city with a technological hub, smart grids, electric mobility, high-speed connectivity, eco parks, smart medical park, real-time surveillance systems, amongst others. VRA has a track record of successfully implementing digitization in its administrative processes as part of the roadmap to the new VRA. The authority is currently implementing a 5-year digitalization strategy for the period of 2021 to 2025, and is on the verge of rolling out a digital transformation and innovation program. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, Ghana's digital transformation agenda will obviously lead to increased electricity demand. As the nation's strategic and pioneering electricity generator, VRA has plans to support the laudable vision with affordable, reliable, clean, and sustainable energy. We have done this for 60 years and look forward to partnering public and private institutions to help Ghana realize its digital transformation agenda. We will, at the opportune time, invite all stakeholders to join us in Akosombo as we develop the various phases of Ghana's first model smart city. On this note, I thank you so much for your kind attention and hope that when you are invited, you will join us. Thank you very much.
The Deputy CEO in charge of Finance, the VRA, Dr. Ebenezer Tego, representing the CEO. Please, another round of applause.